Welcome, class. Today, we're going to be doing a little something called math, alright? 4.2 in your textbook to be exact. I believe this one was exponential functions, how to solve them, how to graph them, all that good stuff, alright? Now, we're going to be doing 5 problems, I believe, 5 problems from it. It's a very easy section. You guys shouldn't have any problems with this at all. If you do, I'm going to have to put you in a different class, alright? Don't worry about it. So the first thing is it's asking us to graph the passes through of 6 to the power of x. So what you do, it's very simple. You take the x's, alright? So here is 6, and above it's an x. We're just going to plug random x's into it. For sake of simplicity here, folks, we're going to be -1, 0, and 1. Alright? Very simple. What's -1? If you have a negative exponent, it's going to be -1/6. Alright? It creates a fraction. Very simple. You guys have a problem with that? Look at your textbook. Creates a fraction. Inverses it, upside down, yada yada yada. Alright? Another simple one. Whenever you have an exponent of 0, what does it make it? 1. That's the right answer. And then, obviously, if you have an exponent of 1 over a 6, that exponent of 1 is technically in every number ever you write. Alright? It just makes it the number itself. You're timesing the number by 1, technically. Alright? So, 6. So, the answer here is looking for is 1, 6, 1, and 6. Now, if I ask you to graph this, you might be saying, how do you graph it? Yeah. Alright, you want 1, 0, and 1. Alright, and it's asking for 1, 6, so that 1, 6, right there. That one, right here. This one, right here at the 6. Yeah. Simple, loop. It's going up like half a parabola. It might be a parabola, who knows? It depends on what you put as the exponent. But if you graph it, it's most likely going to create a weird shape. But if you plot those 3 points, it's kind of like half a parabola so far. Alright, you get it? You get it. Alright, I hope you get it. Because if not, gonna have some trouble. Now, number 2, also a review-like question. Should be pretty easy. It's basically saying, hey, your equation is 2x. Alright, so 2 to the power of x. And it's asking what would happen if f of 3. So it's basically saying, what happens if this x turns into a 3? So now it's 2 to the power of 3. Anyone want to shout out the answer real quick? That's right, it's 8. Alright, very simple question, right? If you want to put that into your calculator, it can. Simple mental math, 2 times 2, 4 times 2 for 8. Alright, thank you. Now, here comes a little bit more of a harder question, folks. What's this harder question, many may ask? Well, basically asking, what happens when you have 2 to the power of 2x minus 1, right, equal to 16? Very interesting question here, folks. Anyone want to guess what we have to do first? Anybody? Any takers? No? Well, then, basically, in order to get rid of this 2 here, the 16 has to turn it into a 2. How do you do that? Well, what exponent makes 16? That also is a 2. So it would be 2 to the 4th power, right, class? Alright, so now it's 2 to the power of 2x minus 1 equals 2 to the power of 4. Alright? And since these two are both equal to each other, you can basically erase them and just work with 2x minus 1 power of 4. Alright, well, 2x minus 1 equals 4. Anyone want to guess what we do now? Very simple. We add the 1 to the 4, making it 5. And then 2x equal to 5. What do you want to do? Get rid of this 2. 5 over 2 equals x. That's going to be the answer they want. And that's going to be asked you right now. 5 over 2. Very simple. And here comes, it's a fun one. A funner one, alright? Let me get up and close and personal with this. Just to show I'm taking it seriously. What you need to do is it's saying the square root of 3 to the power of x plus 6 is equal to 27x. Alright. Anyone want to guess what's the first thing you want to do here, folks? Well, how do you get rid of the square root? You put the 3, put a 3 there. Alright, what does this create? You get rid of this square root. And then it's basically a half. You put the half there. Very simple, because you took away the square root by putting an exponent, a negative exponent equals 1/2. Alright, and you want to make sure that this is parenthesed off from that exponent. Alright, don't want to ever make that mistake. Alright, if you don't parentheses off, your whole answer is going to be wrong. Alright, next thing you want to do, you want to make this same as that. You want to make 27 and 3. How do you do that? Well, you could probably just input it randomly into your calculator, random exponents. If someone wants to do that for me, it will come up with 3 to the power of 3, which would equal 27, which is why you can use it. Alright? So now that these two are the same, we can basically get rid of them. Alright? So what we're left with is 1/2, then parentheses, and then x plus 6, put that in parentheses, equals 3. Alright? Now, does anyone want to guess what we do next? Anybody? Anybody? No? Fine, I'll tell you all. We want to get rid of this 1/2. How do you get rid of 1/2? Times it by 2. What do you need to do then? You times this side by 2 too. So, get rid of this 1/2. And now what you're left with is x plus 6 equals 6. Now, you might be wondering, how do you solve this? My bad. There's an X right there. I was getting confused in myself. Alright, you want to do minus x, add that x to the other side. So minus x, you're left with 5x equals to 6. Now you can guess what we want to do. You want to get rid of that 5 on that x by dividing it by 5, which means x equals 6 over 5. Anyone want to argue with me? Anyone want to disprove this basic math theory? I didn't think so. Alright. We got 2 more to go here, it seems. So let's get it done. 1 more to go. Oh, forgot. This chapter was shorter than the other one. Or the one after this one. Alrighty, folks. Don't get tired now. This one is very simple. Y'all ever wonder about interest rates? I do all the time. They go up and down. They cost you lots of money. When I say lots, I mean a couple thousand. Depending on what you're buying. Very important. In other words, money makes the earth go round. Alright? And what this problem is basically asking for, it is asking for what the interest rate is on a said equation. What's this equation? Well, if you want to know so badly, it's T, which is the initial deposit, R, which is what we're trying to find, N, which is how many times a year is it doing its thing, is it adding interest? Alright, and then you have to add a 1 there too. Don't forget the 1, it's very important. And then it's N times T, which T is how many years you are compounding the said interest rate. Very simple, don't worry about it. Kind of wrote that a little bit high, my bad. I'm gonna put it down a little bit. P1 plus Rn times Nt. Alright. Now, what are the things? So the initial deposit would be 200. Okay. 1 plus. Try to find R here. And it's quarterly, so it's going to be 4. Then 4 times 6. Anyone want to do 4 times 6 for me? It's 24. That's going to be the exponent since we're doing it for 4 years. And what do we end up with? Since we're looking for R, we do need to know what we end up with. What's a 1700? Alright. So what do we do now? You might be asking yourself, well, first thing, we need to get this 1200 over here. So we divide it by itself, 1200, put the 1200 over here, and those two zeros cancel out. So we're left with 17 over 12. Alright, so let's just put this over here. Equal to 17 over 12. Alright, what's next? You might be asking yourself. Well, we want to get this exponent over to this fraction. Just slowly picking apart and moving the places to get closer to only having R. How do you move this by itself? You basically turn it into a fraction, making it 1 over 24 as the exponent. Alright, very simple. What are you left with? Basically get rid of that. You're left with 1 plus R over 4. How do you get R over 4 done? Well, basically what you have to do is, first thing, you have to move the 4 over here. How do you move the 4 over here? You put it here, here, times this by 4. Alright, and you might be wondering, why is there 2 parentheses there? Well, reason being, you gotta get rid of that 1. How do you get rid of that 1? You add the 1 over here, or you subtract the 1. Whatever you want to do, alright? And basically, that's your equation. That will equal R. And if someone would like to put that in the calculator, round to the nearest, let's say 10. Alright, what is that? Well, it'll be something like, I believe, 0.058. Alright, how do you find the interest rate? You move it back to over. So really, it would be 5.8%. Around an estimate. Interest rates, you can go with the estimate. It's fine. Alright, and yeah, that's all you need to know. Hopefully this was informative. I don't know why the college pays me to do this. I really don't know. Alright, see you guys next time.